Crap.
Welcome,
Hello,
ladies and
guys.
gentlemen.
Yeah, we're here to Stratospherius today.
Hi,
I wonder what
Jimmy.
that actually means. Hey, Jim. Hey, everybody else.
He's always the first
I'll
one to
get.
show up. Well, not always, but
No, no, we had Lev and Skeptic in here first. So.
I didn't see that. Oh, yeah, you're right. I just didn't scroll down. My bad. Hey,
Yeah,
guys.
it's all right. Okay.
That's all
All
right.
right. I'm gonna start off with this song here. Ready?
Yeah.
I just want to tell you both good luck. We're all counting on you.
Wonderful, magical, celestial light, fantastical, mystical, wonderful sight. Belgian Swiss physicist Auguste Piccard, 1931, first to reach for the stars, was the first to explore the air view Stratospherius, a scientist curious to see what was there. An aluminium black ball gondola, helium balloon, hydrogen with photos and instruments, sailed towards the moon, rose in just half an hour, 52,000 feet, 10 miles of depth pressure, left for dead, trapped in heat and cold, but disproving gravity. Wonderful, mystical, beautiful sight, flat line separation of black from blue light, a world run by deceivers, false make-believers, hiding in shadows, stealing our light. Mystical, fluorescent light, wonderful, magical, awesome, yes, stealing our light. Wonderful, legendary light, supernatural, eternal, up we go, higher than rainbows, higher than mountains, above cumulonimbus, higher than air, high level horizon, 360 around us, but right round behind us, any height that you dare. The sun and the moon both revolve above around us, to forever short time pass intelligently there. You'll never beat us, you'll never defeat us, no more you deceive us, we see through you like air. Kipper and Picard were the first ever known to reach up there. Divine luminescent light, mystical, wonderful, celestial light. So what was their eternal testimony? What did they report back to humanity? Said it seemed like a flat disk far as eyes can see, with an upturned edge fading into infinity. A mystical, ethereal, celestial sight, a divine creation, a clockwork of light, designed hid by deceivers and false make-believers, still cowering in shadows, still fearing our light. Here we go, higher than Everest, higher than airplanes, above zero cumulus, higher than air, a level horizon, 360 around us, no motion beneath us, no spinning, no fair. Stars on the firmament, turn all around us, to forever short time past geometrically there. You'll never beat us, you'll never defeat us, forever beneath us, we see through you like air. Mystics of illuminant light, fantastical, magical, we see through you like air. Magical angels of light, beautiful, wonderful, celestial light. The first to see truth when they reach for the stars, explorers and physicists, Kipper and Picard. like air.
That's pretty. Hey, Lev, how you doing tonight?
Hey, how are we going? I'm good, thank
Oh,
you.
beautiful.
Surely you can't be serious.
You can't
I
be
am
serious.
serious. And don't call me Shirley.
You watch those nature documentaries on the cable?
Yeah.
You see the one about lions?
Yeah.
Get this lion. He's the king of the jungle. Huge mane out there. He's laying down under a tree in the middle of Africa. He's so big. He's so hot. He doesn't want to move. Now, the little lion cubs, they start messing with him. Biting his tail, biting his ears. He doesn't do anything. The lioness, she starts messing with him. Coming over, making trouble. Still, nothing. Now, the other animals, they notice this. And they start moving. The jackals.
Yep.
Hyenas. They're barking at him, laughing at him. They nip his toes, eat the food. It's in his domain. They do this, and they get closer and closer and bolder, till one day, that lion gets up and tears the shit out of everybody, runs like the wind, eats everything in his path. Because every once in a while, the lion has to show the jackals who he is. It's too late to be scared. It's time to kill.
That's a nice little video, I think. So, gentlemen, how are we this evening?
Yeah, not bad. How are you?
Good. Oh, good. Ryan's getting Jack in the Box right now, I think. I will hold it against him.
I'm still here. I'm still
Are you
here.
eating it? Are you? Is the finger
Yeah,
looking
I'm
good?
eating some fries already. Yeah, I'm already eating fries. I don't know why, but I know it's gonna probably rot a hole in my stomach. But well, hungry.
I haven't had a hole rot in my stomach yet, and I've been eating fries since I was a little boy, so I don't think you have anything to worry about.
I just mean, the chemicals and all that are supposedly in the food, and the people and all that, and the dead people and whatever else they claim. Who knows?
You got
I can
Soylent
only
Green
imagine.
in there.
Yeah, maybe. Who knows, right? Like, I wouldn't put it past them. Trust me.
Yeah, we got a ton more people than we got. Secret Agent Man, Asian Man. Sorry.
I noticed that. I was gonna say welcome. Hey Barry, I haven't seen you in here in a little bit. What's up, dude?
And then we got.
Hi, Secret Agent Man.
Who else?
Who else is in here? Lev's in here.
He's in here too. Yeah.
Barry. Mojo's in here. Hey, Mojo. Thanks, guys.
Kanye West is. Kanye's in here.
He was from. I seen him over in another chat. He's been around. I know who he is. I don't necessarily know who he. I don't know him, but I mean I know of him. Seen him in other chats.
Kanye.
I've seen him for years.
I've seen him too. He's been around. I don't know all these names, man. There's a lot of people.
I'm not vouching for him yet. I'm just saying, so far he seems like a nice guy.
Vouching for him. People are people.
That was supposed to be funny, actually. I was kidding about that part. I wasn't serious. Like, I don't know.
Me neither.
But like I said, I don't want to vouch for somebody that I don't know. But he seems, I haven't seen him say anything that I'd have a problem with so far. But
Yeah.
doesn't mean he hasn't.
I'm sure he's got his own opinions on things too, just like everybody else. And it seems like everybody's got some sort of belief when it comes to this topic. So,
Right. Yeah.
We'll find it this way.
Everybody's welcome.
Like
Though. Doesn't matter.
As
long as they're, as long as they can.
Like everything become like an option to. Everything had that potential to research. Everything were like unresearched because like everything we knew were false, wasn't it? So, you know what I mean? We all believe in different things because we're exploring different things. So as
Yeah.
we fine tune everything, we'll come together again and we'll have like, things will fit.
Yeah.
Like the maps,
Oh,
for example, and all that kind of stuff.
I'm hoping so.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you throw away the stuff that you can't prove, and then you go set it out and try to prove things for yourself. Don't have to do it for anybody else. There's nobody like, oh yeah,
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 that's
believe
my
what I'm telling you.
suggestion. Don't waste your time on a bunch of stuff that you can't prove or that's really difficult or expensive to do. Find something that you know can prove it to you, and then find that. Go for that. Work your way up. That's what I did. I started by going to the ocean, and I worked my way up. And that's how I got to where I am.
Good place to go swimming, man. I'm telling you.
Yeah, absolutely. If it's not cold out.
Yeah, what I wanted to look at was I wanted to go over like the magnetic southern pole and North
Declination.
Pole. Yeah, not
Yeah.
declination. No, like there's they claim there's a magnetic pole with the north, and there's a magnetic pole with the south. There's differences between the two.
I know that's. Well, I mean, I haven't been down there to measure or put a scope to it, but as far as I can tell from everything all the people I've talked to and all the books I've read about it, I don't see anything about there being any kind of push from the south. It's all just a pull towards the north. So that's just my opinion. Maybe
In
I'm
that
just
sense
not
of, like,
educated,
that yin yang
Yeah, kinda.
aspect of things. So in north, you've
Yeah.
got the pull, and then in south, you've got your push. So when you go close to that, it won't register because it's always pushing at it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's
I know.
got like
It's something I can visibly look at and actually tangibly touch.
It's
from what
imaginary.
I don't know if it's
Well,
imaginary.
when
Well,
you try
I'm
to
just
put
saying,
magnets together,
we try to imagine
some
that
will
there's.
stick, but some won't. Some will push it apart, won't they? So it's like that in a
Right.
sense. So you've got the compass that works at top where it'll stick, where you go to the bottom, it's kind of like of the map.
Well, the thing is, the only thing I found in nature that has that property that I can find, besides man-made magnets and whatnot, is this stuff. This little guy right here is a magnetic lodestone.
But the problem is, Roger, that has metal in it. That's the reason why it's magnetic.
Hmm.
All magnetism comes from either metal or an electronic field. There is no other that I know of.
Well,
Unless I'm wrong. I mean,
it has magnetic properties on its own. It's not just a metal. It actually attracts magnets and other lodestone it'll actually work off of.
well, I don't have much experience with it, so I don't know.
Everything's got.
Yes, crystals also have
Even
an
a piece of
effect,
sand's got a torus field.
Yeah.
which is wacky, right? Why does a crystal, like, of all things?
So I'm imagining that like the realm used to be a weird, awesome place. You know what I'm saying? Like it had to be fantastical, you might say. Imagine a huge, gigantic lodestone or a huge, gigantic obelisk of flint or crystal quartz that actually had these electronic properties to it naturally. No, that's not magnetite, skeptic. It's lodestone. It's different. Magnetite's something else. I think they manufacture magnetite out of something, but you have to charge it. I think.
Remember when we were going through my service before, like last month or so, and I think we got to the second episode. We might not have finished it, but we might have been halfway through it or so, and we were looking at all volcanoes and stuff, and showing you all how white smoke goes, and comparing, how like the expansiveness of the smoke kind of matches with reality in a sense. So it's like, it's the easiest pathway for it to move and stuff like. So in different pressure gradients, it'll act differently and stuff like that. So you can compare it to like, the growth of the giant trees and stuff like. But I went on in that service to say about how the giant trees had all burnt down and all this kind of stuff. There must have been a great fire and stuff like. I attribute the fire to the fire will have caused like the tsunamis and stuff like. So when you would have had like, all the rubble and everything which has fallen in sea, like the branches and everything, to cause all of that and stuff like, and then for it to rise as well.
Hey, open the door for me.
I got you.
Peace. Push. Thank you. You better be nice to me, or I won't give you one of these cakes.
It's a day in the life of Ryan. Hold on.
Yeah, I know. I've got a life. Sorry, guys. Here's what it is.
So, which
Thanks for Maria Walker. She got the definition for lodestone and put it in the chat. That was even cool. I don't know. Let's take a look at it right quick. I like definitions of words and stuff. Depends on who's interpreting the definition, but yeah, the Great Fire. I think there had to be like a great purging, that actually caused the world we have now. What's left of the modern world, you might say.
I think it was intentional as well. Like, there were a lot to speculate over and stuff like something like that. But I don't know if there's other stuff, because like Hangman's videos, he talks about like copper layers in wood and stuff like that kind of thing. So like it mountainside and stuff. So that's where it is.
I've seen some of his work. I like them. Yeah.
So when the Great Fire were, like a lot of that will have melted and pooled. So when you can have like mines in that kind of sense or whatever and stuff like. Another aspect of things like from the fire, all the debris from there, and then all the petrification. So like again with Hangman, he showed like the petrified crystal, like the veins that run through rocks, and that being like the sap of the tree, but now it's kind of like petrified. It's different from like petrified sap, which you get like like when they show you dinosaur things, and it's got like a mosquito in there and stuff like that. But I mean, it can like depend on the tree as well. You know what I mean? What kind of tree it were, what it was producing in that kind of sense. Because like the trees we've got now, they're potentially the same type of trees. You know what I mean? Like the yew tree and stuff like that. If that went through its like puberty stage, you know what I mean? It's like we're all in this adolescent stage at the moment. But if the forest network kicks into gear again and it starts to clear its amnesia, say, stuff like that kind of thing, and it can see the potential for where it can create the utopia again. You know what I mean? At the moment, it's growing, and it's kind of like it's a long time, maybe. You know what I mean? Until it do it, but it could be like it might be in a short time that it just like kicks in, and as it's like neural network across the plane kind of thing. And then all the plants like start to go into this like.
Well, you sound like Avatar.
Like
it sounds like Avatar. I'm just kidding. Yeah. Well, like look at this definition. Hold on a second. They're saying basically magnetite's an alternative to lodestone, but it didn't say it is lodestone. It's a piece of magnetite, iron ore, or properties. So I guess what I've seen is. Magnetite isn't nothing like the natural lodestone I've actually got. I bought both, but this is a lot less magnetized, you might say. And it's more rock-like, and it could be like a petrified tree of some sort that would actually. How would it get electrically charged? That's my question. I don't know the process. I would love to.
Well, that's another aspect of it. Like trees are good conductors, aren't they? So when the forests were like the big forest, like the lightning might have had like an effect with the trees. So when you say like Avatar, it might have been even more like Avatar, because the trees might have been like we took like literal Christmas trees.
Yeah.
They might have had like a bit of light and all these kind of things. I mean, potentially, you know what I mean? If it's got all that copper which runs through it and stuff like, then
these are natural like currents that run through things. So I think that, and it causes like the metals to be attracted to each other, I suppose.
Now that's a freaking straw, dude. That thing's like a 3/4 inch opening. Look at that. You can see me through there, man. Fucking nuts.
You can suck your eyeball through that.
Dude, I could suck that whole shake up in like one swoop, dude. Like big time, man. Things are those are bigger. They're bigger than the old McDonald's ones. Remember how big the old McDonald's ones were? They were like huge. You like literally they would collapse on you because they were so weak.
Yeah. Well, think about this. If they felled a giant tree in the north and they felled a giant tree in the southern parts of our realm, there would be a core left over of what would be a electrically charged thing that could cause the compasses to work that way, right? That's what I envision as to be what I'm looking at. It's a natural occurring thing.
It's either the tree in the middle or the two trees at either side, and maybe a tree in the middle as well. But I mean, Imagine there would have been one main tree. I described it like that in Miss Erdis kind of thing, like the mother tree kind of thing, and it's kind of like that'll be the the ultimate representation of God's expression kind of thing in physical form or whatever. So that's it birthed life and everything.
Yeah, sounds like it. And I mean,
Yeah,
we got to be really connected to these things, like your everything from your health to just managing through the world. You have to be in tune with it, or you're not going to be able to function properly. And I think that's
Health?
what modern society. Your health.
Health?
Yeah, health.
What's that? That's what
You got-
most
you got-
people say.
Really?
There goes the neighborhood.
Oh, health. Oh, that thing. The doctor thing? Oh, yeah.
And the doctors don't know
Vitamins.
health. I've talked to a couple of them. Some of the holistic
Somebody in
doctors
here
I've
needs a
actually dealt
doctor.
with.
Oh, yeah. Probably.
Who would that be?
I have no idea.
Any volunteers?
Nah.
All right, we
But
got our
in
first
here
one
must
right here.
mean all of us, even the chat, So
I'll
it's a
volunteer.
lot of- So probably. Oh, we got a volunteer.
Of course.
What was I volunteering for? I missed it.
He's volunteering for research for his mental health. I mean, physical health.
Oh,
I'm your doctor assistant.
but it needs to be looked at differently, I think. Well, especially they do it wrong, don't they, in medical business?
Doctor assistant.
Oh, yeah.
Ryan. Doctor assistant sergeant.
Doctor, sergeant, assistant to the medical staff on charge. I mean,
Yeah. Okay.
what kind of label do you want, man? I'm pretty sure they'll pay you to do it.
Maybe.
Yeah, all you got to do is hand up these pills for them and make sure that everybody stays in line and they take their medicine properly, and you can check out
That'd
the
be
list
easy.
for them. Yeah.
That'd be easy with people. They're nowadays shit. They're all retarded, most of them. I'm kidding. That's a joke.
Dropping R bombs, boy, already.
Oh, I'm sorry. Am I not supposed to say that? Okay.
I was gonna say hi to Dislord. Hi, Dislord. How
Tarred
you
and
doing?
feathered, then. They're tarred and feathered, whatever.
Hey, Roger.
Retard.
I am doing.
Welcome to the Yin and the Yang Club today. I'm gonna
even
break out
my
my.
picture. Even my picture kind of got it,
Yeah, you look more like a baseball to me, though, for some reason.
A baseball, huh?
That's a cool
Well,
baseball.
Look at this cool baseball. Yeah. I got my balls. See, I got my Yin and my
Hello,
Yang.
Mojo.
Yeah,
Hello,
Mojo
Poor
Shop's
Jack.
here. Yeah. Yep.
Hello,
Roger's
Jim.
shaking balls in his hands.
That's where I usually keep my balls in my
Lydia
pants. I
West.
mean, my hands.
Eh?
So, anything new on the horizon? Did anybody check out anything new with the final excrement that you want to
No,
share?
but I was checking out what Lev put up last night. I was pretty fascinated by it.
Oh, his documentary, you did?
Yeah, I thought that was quite interesting.
Yeah. Well, he's working on another
Yeah,
one he
so-
wants to put up.
I'd keep looking
Yeah,
into
well,
that, but
there's-
I just have to ask you a question though. Have you actually seen the Primer Fields yet?
The what?
The Primer Fields. Primer Fields. Have you heard of it?
Oh, yeah, I've heard of it.
Fields.
Go watch that damn set. There's three parts to it. It's like 9 hours altogether, but trust me, go watch it. And I think it's going to give you some insight on what you're working on. Honestly, I'm just being dead honest. I'm not saying it might lead to anything, but it might give you some insight.
Nice.
I've got like over 150 episodes, so it's not. I've got a lot more than that one episode and stuff like. So it's quite thorough, you know what I mean, and stuff like.
I think you're right.
So then they form like the anatomy
Oh, yeah.
and stuff, like your rib cage.
You're
and
definitely not the first
spine.
person to think of it though. But yeah, you're right though. You're absolutely right.
Have you had anybody look at it like they want to publish it, maybe? Polish it up a little bit?
I think there's some stuff already published about it. I've heard of it before, quite a few years ago, but
Well, I'm
I'm not
talking about
sure
his
what it led to. You know what I mean? Kind of just
If you
disappeared.
do, it should be confirmed because, like from you can see from my videos, it kind of like it is confirmed. You know what I mean? It's like there's no doubt about it. We definitely came from flowers, and we will create a great ocean. You know what I mean? It determines that it is conscious. You know what I mean? It's where you get all your emotions and everything from.
Well,
Um,
I only disagree with you because of what the Bible says. It says that we were made from clay and water, and then the breath of life was breathed into our lungs. So that's what I believe. I don't believe we're from flowers. I don't believe we're from anything. I believe God created us from the soil of the earth. And that's why
this
that's
is
why in the
showing
water, and that's why we
how
had
we
that.
were created.
But doesn't that
It's funny
soil
because
doesn't that thing just mean the elements of Earth?
Oh, everything's an element of Earth.
Yeah, but the creation thing, doesn't it just mean he's using the elements of Earth for real to create us from?
Yeah, I'm pretty
Well,
sure
why
he
would he say
did.
clay then? Then why would they specifically say, "Let us create man in our image from clay"?
I don't know, man. There's so many
See what I
things we
mean?
have to interpret.
I'm just saying. I mean, if it matched up with that part of the Bible, then I would say, yeah, I'm all for it. But I'm not sure that it's right because that's telling me that there's not something right about it. You know what I mean? Lev knows what I
what
mean.
if Bible told you it were a globe, but your
Hmm.
experience contradicted it? You
Yeah.
know what I mean?
I
So
don't think the
like
Bible.
that's the thing about the research. If you can contradict or debunk the research, then you know that's the
Well, I don't
difference
know
kind of
that I
thing.
need to debunk anything to convince myself of something to be true or not, right?
Besides that, boys, I mean, the one
No,
mule in the
I'm not
room.
disagreeing. I'm just, I'm just saying,
Well, I was going to say the one mule in the room that won't leave is the evolution part. The part that we evolved from species to species. The struggle for dominance. You know,
well,
that's
that's just an idea that was put into our heads. But
yeah.
that doesn't also mean that there isn't some kind of evolution going on with animals that they don't change. But that doesn't mean that evolution in general is right. It just means that things do change, and God made up for it by allowing that to happen. Like moths changing the shape of their coats or whatever in order to survive. I don't see why God wouldn't have put that in there in order to keep the animals strong and keep going, right? But at the same
There's no
time,
evidence for evolution.
you could
But
take
that's
that too far and then say, well, that proves that the Bible's not true, but it doesn't. You know what I'm saying?
no. But I mean, I won't grasp the fact that like one moth led to another moth. You know, a species, the genus of them has never changed. They're
Right.
different genuses of species, but they remain the same. That's the way they were created. And
And like
well,
Lev is showing us, we're all
yeah,
created in the image of God, which means that God is water. He's
I don't know about
he's the motion of the ocean. He's like the ocean. You know what I mean? He's all through us. He's all part of us. He's the reason
It's
why
the
we're manifested in this image.
it's
Right?
the chakra, the Taurus field, because that's
yeah.
like
There's
when we see the light aspect of it and stuff like that, and that's the foundation for everything is spirit. So that's what that is.
yeah.
That's why I
Well,
suggested you watch that video.
yeah. Besides saying water is just that there's more than that to it. Man.
Yeah, I agree.
There's
But I also agree with a lot of things he said last night. I totally agree. I see the likenesses. I see the connection there. I see how you're absolutely right. I don't think you said anything wrong. I'm just saying I'm trying to figure out how that matches up with, you know what I mean?
It might not. That's the issue.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, it might not.
We could say that maybe not, because I don't know. There is some issues with Bible in a sense and stuff like that kind of thing, right? Like I said, it's like I said last night. It's like I've got like a relationship with God, and I don't want to put anything in between me and God and stuff like that. So it's like choose a religion, which
Choose a
I mean,
religion.
it's kind of like why do you need to put Jesus between you and God in that kind of sense? You say that there's so many things. I could talk for hours about the problems with it in a sense, like because of how it's written and stuff.
Right.
There's a lot of red flags, and there's a lot of truth in it, right? I absolutely accept that, right? And especially like to do with like today's times and stuff like that kind of thing, right? There's like loads of it, which is like it's another red flag in a way. It's almost like because
Right.
if it's part of the agenda, you know what I mean? It's kind of worrying because like on another side of it, right? I don't believe that if you live your life, right, then you with God anyway. It's like everybody's got that relationship with God. It's like we're all going through that experience and stuff like that. So um, it's understanding it as you go through life and stuff. And so if you like do it in an unbiased kind of way, you kind of like, you know, try to experience that relationship in a more
Yeah, I hear you.
more real way. You know what I mean? I mean, you know what the conversation with God is like between yourself and God in that sense. I mean, it's kind of like a daily thing, isn't it? You kind of like
Yeah.
asking yourself,
Well, I
Or
think
you
the
know,
maybe,
best
have
or
you
way
maybe
ever
I
seen light
convince
and stuff
myself
like
that
that?
it is. One of the two, right?
you
Have you
can take
done
the
these things
wisdom
only today?
from scriptures, and you can take the knowing nature and combine the two. And I think that's probably the best way to look at it. You can commune with
Yeah,
nature, not like yeah, easily, but
nature's
as
God's
a
language.
yeah, it's a beautiful language. I'm gonna read this right quick. It's this is basically a description of the difference between the North and the South Pole. Is what I was looking at earlier. It's kind of different. Where was I at? And then I'm going to take a look at Duffy released 3 days ago his midnight or 24-hour moon footage. I wanted to take a look at that. He's been saying this for a while, but here we
Really?
go. The introduction, yeah, he did. The introduction. It starts out. The Earth is not fully round. It is slightly flattened at the pole. The polar regions of the Earth are divided into two parts. So we're going right away with the gravitational geoid kind of thing. It's not a complete sphere. The two parts of the north and the south, which are referred to as final points on the Earth's axis. In other words, the Earth spins around its axis. It's connected by the north and the south. All throughout, both poles have share many features. They share them. They don't have exactly them, according to what they're saying here in this science PDF. They
Well,
are
they're
different.
counteracting their previous stuff though.
Yeah, I know. Well, first of all, they have to prove their magnetic source, which would be the iron, molten iron core, which is supposedly
But
magnetic.
they don't want us to see it, so they're not going to tell us about it.
Well, they kind of tell you where it is, and it's constantly moving because the core
But
shifts.
that's senselessness. Why would it be moving?
Yeah, it's a good question. But do you feel any
If it's a
motion?
permanent magnet at the top of the globe, then why would it move? It doesn't make any logical sense, bro.
No, it doesn't. But the whole
But go
universe
ahead. I
is
mean,
moving. Yeah, the whole universe is moving in concert, according to these people. Is what
yeah.
they boil it all down to.
Well, yeah. Regardless of how we look at it, it's all going the way it's supposed to go.
Yeah. The following
Thank God.
article shows the North versus the South Pole and difference in their similarities. So we'll start off with the North Pole. The point at which its rotation axis meets the surface of the northern hemisphere is called the North Pole. It is known as the Arctic geographical North Pole.
Oh, so it's imaginary because it's just based on a rotating axis that we can't prove. Okay, got it.
Yeah. Well, we never
That's easy enough to figure out.
The geographic coordinates are at 90 degrees north. It's the same in the south. Which
I still think they're calling it a pole when it should be a hole. They need to change that letter to an H.
Well, but that's why don't you write the author of this article and tell them you're labeling it all wrong, dude. Instead of pole, it should be a hole in the north and a hole in the south.
Yeah, you should. No, there shouldn't be a south at all because it's not a ball. It's just a big circle with a hole in it, just like an eye. Have you ever seen a picture of someone's eye?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's what you live on. That's exactly what you live on, a big eyeball. Just think of it that way. It's easier.
I think it's a large root system that bulges up in places and lower in others.
Look at your eyeball under a microscope. You'll see what I'm talking about.
I can't do that. I promise you, and I'm not going to start
darn
tonight.
It. All right, fine. Don't listen to me then.
Okay. Okay. So here's the comparison between the two, south and north. Is that the northernmost point of the surface is at the Earth's axis. The same with the south too, and they're both at 90 degrees exactly. The North Pole is 2 millimeters or 2 miles above the sea level, and it's up to 2,000 miles in the south, or 2,835 miles above. So see the giant difference there? The height of the north is only 2 miles, as opposed to the height of the south is 2,835 above sea level. That's quite a huge difference, don't you agree? Wouldn't you be able to tell in elevation from our level? It's a big, huge difference, dude.
I told you it was above sea level. I've been telling you that. How long have I been telling you that?
Yeah, I know.
The South is higher up because it's frozen and ice floats. Hello. So why wouldn't it be higher up? It makes logical sense to me, doesn't it? You?
Yeah, but we also
Plus, it
have
never gets warm enough to melt all the snow, so it just keeps piling up. So whatever, it just keeps getting higher and higher.
You still have a large high.
That's how we got shelves. That's how we got those shelves, right?
Yeah, but you hear what I mean? Yeah, there's still mountain ranges above that, though. There's land above that.
Is there? Beyond the wall, huh? Beyond the dome? I thought the wall was the dome.
Well, I don't know if the wall was a dome. I think there's a wall outside.
Oh, you're just talking about the ice shelf. Well, the ice shelf that's just an ice shelf. It's not a wall, really. It's an ice shelf.
Yeah.
Because it never defrosts, so it just keeps piling. So every time it snows, it just gets taller and taller, and then it sinks down deeper into the water. Think about it that way. It's easier to understand. You know what I mean?
Okay.
It's not really not difficult to get it. I mean.
Yeah. Well, here they claim that the North Pole is at sea. At 7 kilometers is the nearest.
Well, yeah, because the North Pole isn't frozen. It's actually in the middle of the ocean, so that would make sense, right? It's at sea level, because sea level would be level with sea level, right?
And
so yeah, that makes logical sense. I won't argue with that.
The exact opposite in the south is inland, and it's 13 kilometers to the nearest sea. That's straight across the board.
I don't know about that.
I don't know if they make that up. If it's 13 kilometers to the nearest sea from Antarctica, like
but Antarctica is in the middle of the sea, so it doesn't make any sense. You mean another sea besides the Antarctic Sea?
Well, no, that's the Southern Oceans, dude. That's what's next to the.
So we don't have names for those Southern Oceans? I thought it was just called the Antarctic.
No, it's called an ocean, dude. Yeah, there's an ocean shoreline there. Yeah, goes along the outside of it.
Okay.
I don't know how large it is because it seems to me like everything that we get picture-wise is all chopped up and cropped in and placed together like a puzzle. So none of it really lines up with each other. Banner did a good video on it last night. There's two guys that put together.
I'll tell you what, I've seen Antarctica, and I do not see no 5.4 million square miles of ice at all. It looks like a tiny little thing. And it won't let you measure it.
That little peninsula there, that's not Antarctica, dude. Antarctica is a lot larger than that.
Oh, I'm aware of that.
Yeah. And let's see. The location.
Well, I'm assuming it. I have to assume it because I don't know. I haven't been down there. But.
It just tells you their location. This is just a basic map. Kind of like what Planet Peterson tried to do with his proofs. He just gave a list and degrees of what they were predicting and what we predict. But I want to go through that process. I don't just trust anybody to just print it up and like, here it is, it's true. The temperatures, that's the next one. Let's go with areas first, though.
Honestly, I think we're all foolish to try to think that we can figure out exactly how big it is and all that. But that's my opinion.
Yeah, a lot of people try.
I'm not even sure that it would help us, like, prove any part of it. You know what I'm saying? Like, even if we knew that it was this and then it was that, would that really change the fact that it's still the ocean is flat, right? I mean, regardless of, so I don't see any. I'm not seeing any evidence that's telling me that there's any curve or that it's any different than what I'm assuming already. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I know what you're saying.
Based on my knowledge of lividity of the ocean, right? And that's all I've really got to go on. I can't go to Antarctica because I can't afford it, you know. And even if I could, I don't know that I'd want to spend, $30,000+ just to stand on a bunch of ice and then say I was there. It seems like a dumb idea, but I get it.
Well,
but not to say that I wouldn't want to go if it was, if it was offered, I'm ready to go. But
yeah, if I'm going to go, I'm going to go down there and take a live stream and pump it out to the rest of the world free of charge, dude.
Well, yeah, I mean.
This is what I see, and it's live, and it's happening now.
Well, so I would say that if everybody helped you get to that goal and made you able to go to do the visit, that would be the least you could do for them back. Is to give them the information that we've been asking for. Yeah, exactly.
That's the whole plan live, dude. Just a straight up because I don't see it. Nobody else.
I don't know what kind of troubles you're going to run into, like trying to keep it live the whole time. But I'm sure you could probably do enough that you'd get the point across. You know what I mean?
Well, Me and one other person could actually get that up and going and keep it live long enough to get a 24
Yeah,
hour.
I think between two people, you probably, but then you'd probably have to sleep in different shifts and stuff like that, so that, you know,
Yeah.
obviously it's going to be some work. It's not just going to be a walk in the park. You're going to have to bust your ass to try to get all the stuff you can while you're there in a limited amount of time, which is obviously not the way they were acting, right? They were just dilly-dallying around like it was no big deal. I don't know. This is good. Like I said, this is just feeding more into my mind that this whole blah, 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 whatever you want to call it, is just crock. It's just a crock.
Yeah. Okay. Well, let's read in more of this right quick. Like the North Pole region includes the Arctic Ocean, parts of Greenland, Alaska, Canada, Norway, Russia, and covers 5.5 million square miles. So how does a pole area cover 5.5 million square miles?
It's an exaggeration, bro.
No kidding. And it's the same in the South. It's 5 million square miles. That's how can you cover that kind of land? And how would that fit on your freaking ball? That's what I want to know.
Okay, let's switch to a different subject that's the same but it's different. Okay, let me tell you something. Did you realize that only 5% of the Earth has actually been explored? 5%. The oceans have not been checked at all. Most boats have never been in parts of the ocean. We use 5% of it. 5%. That's how ridiculous it is and how little we know about what's really out there in the ocean or under it. So I think we should be focusing more on that, because I think we're going to learn more about that and get more to understand about our world than we ever are just by going to the ends of it. I don't know that you know what I'm saying, though.
I got you.
I think that if we were focusing more on what's under the ocean and finding out what's really going on with our Earth and how it really works and all that shit, we wouldn't be worried about space and all this crap that we can't do anything about, right? Because even if space did exist, how are we ever going to change it? We can't. If it exists like it says it does, then there's not much we can do. We can't really go there because we'd end up dying. You know, I mean, come on, it just doesn't make any logical sense.
Well, space in a physical standpoint from where they come from doesn't make any sense whatsoever.
And putting you in a little pea-sized pod and shooting you out into space is just dumb. Why would anybody be dumb enough to get in something like that and take that risk? I don't know. I think they'd have to literally force somebody to do something like that.
Yeah.
I really don't think there's guys out there that gung-ho to just go and throw their life away for something dumb like that.
I was just going to ask if someone would volunteer.
Let's go.
Yeah, let's volunteer somebody to put them in a rocket and shoot them up there, and let's find out what really happened.
Well, if you paid attention to my entrance video, you had August Picard put himself in a little pod and tied himself to a hydrogen balloon and flew as high as he could.
Yeah, and he lived. But anyway, Joyce Pete says live music is named great. Yeah, I think that's his name. Live music. I don't know why he did that. I'm not really sure what that was all about.
But
no, he's not. It's just they were talking about him. That's all.
Yeah.
They're just talking about the situation. Yeah, and I don't blame. I agree with everybody. It's bullshit. Yeah. Like, why would somebody do that to the show? I mean, it's not necessary. We don't want to see all that. So, and we don't want to put that out there either. So it's like, why would you do something? Why? Because you're angry? Because you're losing an argument? Okay. That just proves you're just wrong, I guess.
Let's compare the North and temperature wise. Okay. The North Pole is warmer than the South Pole. Okay. The summer temperature at the North Pole is usually 0 degrees Celsius. Winter temperatures are 40 degrees Celsius. At the South Pole, it's much colder than the North. Summer temperatures at the South Pole are at minus 20.
Why would it be different temperature?
Yeah, that's a good question.
Unless it was a flat flat dome.
It's kind of contradictory.
Yeah.
Because like when you've got like loads of months of like daylight in North, the South has only got a short period of time which has got daylight for 24 hours. So like, why is that? You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's like well, you're telling me that the sun's warm enough to melt some of the snow and all that, but it doesn't actually keep the snow from piling up. That doesn't make sense either.
It
would have to be frozen. It would have to be like permafrost. Yeah.
The sun's 3 million miles closer as well. So you'd think it'd not all
3 million miles closer. Yeah.
3 million. Yeah.
Wow.
It's not much of 93 million, but at the same time, it's quite a bit. You know what I mean?
I think just saying the words 93 million when it comes to miles, I think that's a ridiculous number that nobody should even bother with it, because it's like there's no way you'd ever see any light coming from that distance. It doesn't matter what kind of material you put it through. Light doesn't travel that far. It diffracts and it goes in, you know what I'm saying? Unless you had perfect mirrors all the way down through the whole universe, bouncing it all down here, I don't see how that would be possible. It's just not. You know what I'm saying?
I like the first globe. With the first globe, like the sun was just a million mile away, and it's like, the maths must have been completely wrong. So it's like,
Oh yeah, it is. They keep
Bye,
changing
Sandra.
it. They've been changing it forever. So we get to winter temperatures at -°C in the south. That is fucking
Marie.
cold, dude. So
Hi, Jeff.
the
Hi, Maria.
similarities are cut off here. So these are citations. You can actually get these temperatures, these readings. They were actually taken. It's not like it's a joke or anything. There's not much more you can really talk about, except the seasons having much more of a difference, day and night. Let's see. March 21st, September 23rd, 186 days of the year. The North Pole is September, March. What? From March 21st to September 23rd, 186 days at the north. And from September, okay, so which one's day and night? So those are days and nights there. And it's the same here in the south almost. Let's see, March 21st to March 20. There's a big gap. So yeah, there's a huge difference between the two. If anybody wants to read this,
But my question is this: if you were on a ball, okay,
yeah,
would the sun actually do that if you were on a tilted ball? I don't think so.
no, that's what evens the sunlight out are supposed to. But the tilt's almost the same.
I think that the analemma of the sun would be different down there, right? Because you're at an extreme point from it, right?
Yeah.
Even though it would still look like the sun and everything, it would just stay close to the horizon, and you know what I'm saying? Because you're too far away from where it actually passes over the Earth, right? And even if you're looking at it in a globe sense, it still makes the same sense to me. I don't see why it seems any different. I mean, obviously the globe thing is so well matched to it, the flat Earth, and the way they've divided it. They've made it easy for you to get confused easily by it because of the numbers and the math. That's why I always say math is just confusing us. I mean, yeah, it's useful. Trust me, math is very useful. But at the same time, they're using this math in order to confuse us and make us believe in crap that doesn't exist just because these numbers happen to match up a little bit. You know what I'm saying? It just seems odd to me.
It doesn't seem like they really match up at all with these citations.
Well, no,
here.
but I'm saying they do enough to where obviously people all over the world are believing this. So obviously it's believable enough. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Even though to us it doesn't seem like it makes any sense at all, to them it's because of the way math works that makes them believe that that's possible. See what I'm saying? So I think that in this sense, math is being used as a deception. It's not being used for what it was designed for. Just like the Bible gets used all the time for evil shit, right? You know, people put out, they'll put out pamphlets and stuff saying what the Bible says, trying to confuse people, telling them, oh, this is going to happen. Look what Hitler did. Look at what Napoleon did. They all use these tactics to scare people into not fighting against them. And it worked on a lot of people because people are very easily confused, right? And now we just have a media where this happens every day. People who are richer than us or think they're better than us or have more power than us just put whatever they want on these media things, and they convince us to believe in shit that's not even really true. I mean, do you see it differently than me or what?
No.
Am I the only one that sees it that way? It's like
like the sunlight and even the starlight in the south actually it's got to look different because of the temperature differences. That would definitely affect.
Well, that and the altitude too. If you're a few thousand feet higher, then yeah, you're going to see a different angle, and then there'd be less likely more than likely not enough. There'd be too much shadow for you to have 24 hours of actual full sunlight. It would be more than likely that it would go down, and it would stay light, but it would go down, and it would hug the right underneath. Anyway, that's just my opinion. I don't fucking know, but
well, dude, you're off there like thousands of miles difference in height from sea level.
Right, that's the problem. That's what I'm saying though. Is that because they're off. That's why I said I just can't trust them.
They're way off. So I'm gonna take a look at this little video that the Main Street put out about the magnetic poles, how they move.
All right, Dave's here, so I'll talk to him for a sec while you finish.
Okay, all right, we'll give it a shot. Ready? Let's see what they got to say about it.
Did you know that Earth has 2 North Poles? There's the geographic North Pole, which never changes, And there's the magnetic North Pole, which is always on the move. And right now, it's moving faster than usual. Over the last 150 years, the magnetic North Pole has casually wandered 685 miles across northern Canada. But right now, it's racing 25 miles a year to the northwest. This could be a sign that we're about to experience something humans have never witnessed before.
And what would that be?
A magnetic polar flip. And when this happens, it could affect much more than just your compass.
Right now on the surface of the planet, it looks like it's just a bar magnet, right? Our compasses are...
Does it look like a bar magnet when anybody else sees it? Yeah, Dislord, Lev, Brian, anybody? When I look outside,
Hold on, I got someone talking in the background. I can't really hear what's going on.
okay.
I've used it as an example in one of my videos as a biomagnet and stuff like that kind of thing. You know, if we are considering like the two poles, sorry.
Yeah. But from what I remember, when they first went exploring for the magnetic south, they couldn't find it. That was recorded even all the way back to the 1800s, 1700s. They went and searched for the so-called magnetic pole, and then
Well, we're looking for like the same thing in North Pole. Like, you know, like if that's like the positive and the other one's the negative, were they going to the south looking for a positive, and that's why they couldn't find it?
I don't think electricity was even a factor back then. To tell you the
No,
truth.
I mean like like with magnets, when you put two magnets together, they stick together. But then you get two other magnets and they won't stick together. And so like they went looking for magnets which stick together like in North Pole, but in South Pole they don't work like that. And so that's why they couldn't find it. You know what I mean? They're using the same type of compass.
Yeah. Well, they just used a copper or brass needle and they put it in water and it kept direction. So they went the opposite direction looking for the same thing and they couldn't find it. So how do you find direction beyond that point? How do you flip the magnet? Well, you take a south pole off a bar magnet to find your direction in the south. Is that what they do? Usually they do. They push themselves away from each other. I'm well aware of how magnets work. But how can you tell? What would you use as a guide? If you took a bar magnet to the south, it would actually do the exact opposite that it would do in the north. So, but it would give you a direction, right? So you could actually find that south pole if they could, right? Has that ever been done? That's what I want to know.
I think.
Well, we're fixing to hear what this big lesbian has to say about it now. But she's obviously some kind of expert. Her name's see if I can see it.
Are just pointing toward
Alana.
Also, this could also happen like in a sense of like just going to the external extremity of like a circle map, and then it's like that exterior circle would be it. You know what I mean? So
yeah, kind of like a ring magnet
ring.
would do this. Yeah, ring magnets do the same thing. They have opposite sides to it. Yeah. So that Eric Dubay compared the south to a ring magnet, basically from the point. He did make a lot of assumptions like that. I would love to go find out. When I'm down there, I'll test this out. Why not? Won't hurt anything.
Or one pole at a time, because there's a dominant two-pole dipole system.
But sometimes, Earth doesn't always just have a single magnetic north and south pole. Evidence suggests that for hundreds to thousands of years at a time, our planet has had
Okay, what's the evidence?
4, 6, and even 8 poles at a time. This is what has happened when the magnetic poles flipped in the past. And when it happens again, it won't be good news for humans. Now you might think that 8 poles must be better than 2, but the reality is that multiple magnetic fields would fight each other. This could weaken Earth's protective magnetic field by up to 90% during a pole.
Okay, the protective magnetic. What is it protecting us from? That's my question. All the solar storms and radiation from outside of the Earth. We get bombarded daily, right? That's what I'm going with.
Polar flip. Earth's magnetic field is what shields us from harmful space radiation, which can damage cells, cause cancer, and fry electronic circuits and electrical grids. With a weaker field in place, some scientists think this could expose planes to higher levels of radiation, making flights less safe. This could also disrupt
Get good pilots, you don't have to worry about that.
the internal compass in many animals, which use the magnetic field for navigation. Even more extreme,
Okay, how many birds migrate to the southern continents by magnetic field?
All these birds, butterflies, and other creatures as well, isn't there?
But I mean, would you have to actually have to have a south magnetic field to do that? I mean, couldn't you just use the northern magnetic field that works supposedly? That we use it to navigate with. So birds use it. They have the stone in their head. They actually pulls them towards it when they need to. So is there any evidence that shows you that there's a magnetic pull to the south when they want to migrate south, or they just go away from the north? Away from the but I mean, I guess you could call that a dipole if you want to like label it like that. So there could be a bar magnet in the middle of the earth that I haven't found yet. So I'll test that out
No,
when I get down there.
I don't think it's a magnet search. I just think it's like the torus field is that big that it causes it. So it's it's more of an energy thing.
Yeah, I got you.
It's a,
So I mean,
like
it
it,
doesn't really affect like a physical car or a boat or. I've heard the old stories about the Black Rock, the Mount Meru pulling the nails out of ships and they wrecked because the magnetic force was so strong. That's fable. I can't like bank on like, oh yeah, that did happen. But I mean, I don't see if there was that large of a magnetic stone at the north that pulled apart ships at one point in time, and the stories are there. It could have happened. Probably way before modern times as it goes. It's different.
it could also be a story to scare people from going there.
Yeah.
So like to see the remains of a giant tree or whatever and stuff like.
Yeah.
Or if it's like a whole like Jackbird, Admiral Bird flew into Middle Earth or whatever and stuff like that. Middle Earth, Hollow Earth. Sorry.
Are you in the Lord of the Rings now? Are you? I'll call you. We'll call you Pippin or Merry. Which one do you want? You want to be Frodo or Bilbo?
Neither. No. I've only seen them once.
Bilbo Baggins.
You get to sleep in the Bear of Rights, and you're going to be hunted by trolls and goblins, sir. Get your elven swords out, and we shall fight. Never.
Certain places on the planet too dangerous to live. But what exactly will take place on the surface is less clear than what will undoubtedly happen in space. Satellites and crewed space missions will need extra shielding
Boy, that sucker looks real, doesn't it?
that we'll have to provide ourselves.
Is this another one of those
Without
crappy
it,
NASA
intense
videos?
Cosmic and solar radiation.
No, I think this is a Nat Geo or something, maybe. I don't know, really sure.
So they're basically saying the same thing NASA's been saying.
Oh, yeah, exactly. This is right down this mainstream med.
There you go. Confirmation once again.
This is called Inside Tech is the name of the stream. So I don't know what's technical about it, but and all the photographs and everything else looks so real. I mean, if this was actually a real thing, don't you think they would actually be filming it? Come on, think about it.
Will fry circuit boards and increase the risk of cancer in astronauts.
Yeah, I get a lot of patients that come in, astronauts getting cancer for being in space so long. Kelly, he had to go get a couple of chemotherapy sessions because he's developed cancer for so many hours in space.
Our modern way of life could cease to exist. We know this because we're already seeing a glimpse of this in an area called the South Atlantic Anomaly. Turns out, the direction of a portion of the magnetic field deep beneath this area has already flipped, and scientists say.
Okay, show us the evidence, guys. I see a graph. We're starting out at UTs or YTs, whatever that is. I guess it's a measure of magnitude for magnetics. So we're at 28. So let's watch the scale. Watch it go down. And how do you test this out? Or how do they test it out better?
That's
Yeah,
one
but-
reason why the field has been steadily weakening
either.
since 1840. As a result,
1840. They have a log of the magnetic scale in the Southern Ocean since 1840.
Since when were they doing any surveys out there in 1840? That's bullshit.
I think they're just making crap up, dude. Yeah. 1840. We're going to the year 2000 here, or at least.
Bro, we were in horse and buggy back then, bro. We're not, no. I don't think so.
No, you're right. I'm with you there, 100%. This stuff is just
Unless we had more technology back in the day and they just kept it from us. And that could always be true.
I'm going to ask that question. Who are they? The people in the horse and buggies back in
It
the
doesn't,
1840s?
no, it doesn't really matter who they are. Whoever they is, they don't want to be identified. That's why we call them they. See the top?
Them days. There's them days everywhere. Go ahead, play. You're going to say something? Any opinion on that?
Oh, me.
Yeah, you think there's going to be a polar flip at any point in time or soon? Come on. And how would you know?
So I see. I don't know how we know all this stuff. You know, like that space shot with Earth, and it looks like a spider. We all how it's all drifting, all what's it called, toric field and stuff. How do they know it's like that? You know what I mean?
It's a
I've got no
good
idea,
question.
you know. It's baffling.
I think they want it to be baffling bullshit. That's what I'm thinking.
the Hubble Space Telescope and other satellites often shut down their sensitive electronics as they pass.
Oh, so they shut down their sensitive electronics when they go over this part of the world.
With it being an energetic thing, I mean, if there were such a thing of it shifting, right, it'd be, it wouldn't do anything to us in a sense. You know what I mean? It'd just be like an energy shift.
Yeah. So I think that it makes a good story, though. It really does. But I want to see like the evidence. I want to see what it's doing to everything. It's like they're saying that satellites like the Hubble have to shut down all their sensitive electronics when they fly over this area in the Southern Ocean here. Show me. Let's put it that way.
Pass over the area. And astronauts on the International Space Station report seeing a higher number of bright flashes of light in their vision, thought to be caused by high-energy cosmic rays that the weaker field can't hold back. Since experts started measuring the anomaly a few decades ago, it has grown in size.
Okay, a few decades ago, went from 1840 to now. They're worse than Whitsitt. They're double speaking, man.
Size, and now covers a fifth of Earth's surface, with no signs of shrinking anytime soon. This is so extreme that it could be a sign.
That looks more like just a heat index to me.
Dude, we haven't even charted those oceans. How the hell would they know what's going on out there? I don't believe them, bro. I think they're lying.
Well, it's all those satellites they're getting those readings from the magnetic shielding that.
Well, maybe they should stop fucking with the damn weather and fucking with the damn everything else, and they wouldn't have this problem.
This is why they're doing it. This is like the war on nature. If they destroy everything in nature, you know what I mean? If it's a Taurus field, then that's going to affect everything. You know what I mean? The trees aren't going to go into that.
What I think is dumb, though, is that people believe that this is the same field that would go around on a flat Earth. It's not.
No. And the thing is, I think they're pushing this like they were doing global warming. Like this is going to happen, and guess what, boys? We got to get ready.
If the surface of the water isn't curved, then neither is the damn magnetic field. Hello. Like how retarded? I mean, seriously, how dumb, how ignorant do you have to be to not understand when you put a magnet in the center of a piece of paper and you move a freaking compass around it? It's going to point towards the center of it, is it not? So you're not dealing with this big old huge electromagnetic field. You're dealing with a magnetic field that rises above the actual level of the Earth, right? and it pulls directly towards the north. It doesn't pull in different lines and point different directions. It points towards the middle. So how do you figure that means it curls under and comes back out the other side? It doesn't make any logical sense. It's just
What if it's
sucking everything
small
towards it.
within that?
Yeah, go ahead, Lip.
So those lines are quite extreme in a sense.
Oh yeah, it is very extreme, and I think they're exaggerating just to push more fear mongering on people. Like if we have this gigantic magnetic flip, all this stuff is going to happen. Like all electronics are going to shut down. Civilization, as you know, it's going to end tomorrow because this anomaly is going to occur, and we predict it's going to occur. But when is it going to occur? When have the aliens invaded yet? When have was any of their predictions, other than what time it is in the celestials, has ever come to pass? This is like modern day soothsaying. That's all I look at it as.
We're on the brink of a polar flip, or we may already be in the midst of one. But scientists remain skeptical, mainly because
The last thing the poles reversed was 780,000 years ago. So
780,000 years ago, we had a magnetic flip, and there's all this
Right.
proof to go.
And we know that because we went back in time and saw it with our own eyes.
And those blue eyes are lying, aren't they? Look at that smile.
She's so full of shit, it's leaking out of her ears and her eyes. You know?
Yeah, it's funny.
She's smiling because they picked her, of all people, to do this little video for them. And so she's so excited, she just can't help but to smile and gleam, right? That has nothing to do with whether she's telling the truth or not.
Shouldn't even feed a plant.
Oh, yeah, it looks like it's dying over in the corner. You better break out the Miracle Grow. All right.
it's not, we don't have an oral record of
turns out 780,000 years is over double the time that Earth usually takes between flips.
since the last massive.
Wait a minute. So they know it takes these flips somehow.
If that's a she at all.
Yeah. It probably is. She's the big girl who.
Well, it's just like with passports. We all know how to verify something like that, right?
Yeah. Well, yeah, we got to go back in time. Like how far?
I'm not
back?
trying to be rude or I'm not trying to be cruel or rude. I'm just being honest. I mean, there's only one way to know. It's to, just like Crocodile Dundee does. He puts his hand down there and finds out for sure.
There's a junk in the hole. Yeah. Oh, there's nothing there. It's smooth. Wait a minute. It's not a
Yeah,
candle.
if there's a bump, you're in trouble.
Yeah.
That's not a Sheila.
No Sheila here. This is amazing, though, isn't it, guys? They're telling you all this stuff that's happened from billions of years ago. What happened, what it usually is supposed to do in their model. But I want to see some and nobody's been alive long enough to say that, hey, that really did happen. So these stories are really hard to fill in, aren't they?
Extinction. There have been reversals roughly every 300,000 years.
So what gives?
Who told them this? 300,000 year old man who was there when it happened the first time, right?
Well, scientists haven't figured it out yet.
No shit. They haven't figured it out. But they got a lot of equipment, and they get to go eat lunch at the diner when they're done.
It's unnerving to think that our modern way of life, banking, the stock exchange, missile tracking, GPS, relies on the outcome of something we can neither predict nor control. One study went so far as to estimate that a single giant solar storm today could cost the U.S. up to $41.5 billion.
How much? For what? All the technology will get fried, so now we got to go into backup mode and we got to change our technology because there's magnetic flip on the way. 41,500.
That's really, bro.
41 million. Yeah.
Really?
Sorry.
Really, bro? You really believe the Earth's going to flip over upside down when it doesn't? Not even a ball? Really?
No, I'm this is incredible, dude. I'm just who they're selling this to somebody. I just don't know.
By the way, that sun thing that they're showing you right there is not. That's not an actual photograph of the sun, by the way.
That's the CGI image of what they think it looks like. Yeah.
Yeah. It doesn't look anything like that. Not at all. Not at all.
Yeah. Well, I tell you what, man. They know more than I do. So just trust the experts. Go
I
on
would
and
probably say, Roger, that you're absolutely wrong. You probably know more than they do because they believe in a storyline. They don't believe what's true, and they're not looking for the real truth. They're just accepting what they're told and just preaching that. So how would you be smarter? How would you be less intelligent than them? That doesn't make sense.
well, once you start looking into it, it's like their story is incredibly unbelievable. Unbelievable.
Of course. And illegal. And unlawful.
Yeah. So this is what they're trying to push on people by pushing.
Which means that it's what? Called tyranny, which means it deserves what? Bingo.
Death. Yeah.
$1 a day in damages. And that's with the Earth's magnetic field at its current strength. It's frightening to even imagine the devastation a storm would bring to an Earth with a magnetic field only 10% as strong as it is now. We may not be able.
Now, what does that look like to you? We're flying through what? That's dark matter.
We ain't
space
flying
particles.
nowhere, dude.
I know.
We ain't going
I'm saying
nowhere. Duh.
Like a bullet out of a gun. Faster than that, though. But, all those forces that would be caused by that motion, somehow we don't feel them, see them, taste them, touch them, breathe them, shit them. It's a good story, though.
Able to stop a polar flip, but we can at least start to take measures to minimize the damage. The first step? Figure out what's going on with this wacky
More
field.
like they're going to fuck it up and flip it somehow on purpose is what it sounds to me like what they're trying to do.
Yeah, but how do you change a magnetic pole of a spinning ball in space? What kind of technology you got in your
Well,
back pocket?
if they're the ones that put it there, dummy, they just turn it off.
Oh, okay, there you go. And look at that confetti show we got going on here. Party time.
It's such a crock of shit. It's not even worth fucking considering, bro. Look at that
You're
garbage, bro. It's just garbage, bro. Like every single line on there is just imagined, completely imagined in some science fiction novel. It's bullshit.
So everybody grab a shot of tequila. We're going to hit the pinata now. All right.
On the hunt are the European Space Agency's swarm satellites that are currently collecting the most precise data.
Swarm satellites. Ooh, a new one. What are they swarming?
Fucking stupid.
Shawarma satellites from India. We get the shawarma.
Data on the strength of Earth's magnetic field. Right now, they could be our greatest hope for solving this riddle.
Look at that battleship. Did you see it? Let's go back a little bit. Let's take a look at this. It's Battlestar Galactica.
The most precise data on the strength of Earth's magnetic field.
We made it to Earth.
Right now, they could be our greatest hope for solving this riddle.
Starbucks in the bay getting ready to hop in his cruiser. Thank God we watched that. How about it? That was worth it. Oh, hell. Where'd this Lord take off to? You got tired of watching the magnetic poles shift? Put it in gear. I'm grinding gears, people. God damn. These people believe this stuff, dude. It's insane. Now I gotta go change my diapers because I feel like we're all gonna die. That's enough of the poles and the magnets. So yeah, so they could create a system that would actually cause electronics to actually fuck up with the technology we were looking at on the first little stream I did Yeah, so this is all manufactured, I think. If you're just walking around in the woods somewhere and everything started messing up, all your cell phones and all your stuff started doing messed up shit, I'm like, first, oh no, we're in a polar flip. What are we going to do?
Oh, I know what it is. It's the Earth's ascension.
Oh,
because if Earth's raising its frequency and all this kind of stuff, like I expect its amnesia to clear. It's like, well, trees being cut down, that's caused its amnesia. It's like brain damage to the entire realm. So that's why we can't remember his past lives, spiritual experiences, and all these kind of things and stuff like. And also, part of his like growth cycle or age cycle, you know what I mean, and stuff like. We probably live a lot longer once it were in that state and stuff. Um, so I
Strange,
describe
isn't
it
it?
like a mind, like the chakra.
Mm.
It opens its flower. You know what I mean? So it's like becomes like an enlightened world in that kind of sense. There's that biblical stuff about like the streets being golden or whatever. I can't remember what it said exactly, but kind of described that state of the world, didn't it? You know what I mean? It didn't actually mean it the world made out of gold and stuff, but when you think about it in that kind of like um the spiritual, like how we are now in reality, it's like we're 90% physical experience and 10% spiritual. You know what I mean? We've got us emotions and all these kind of things, like, but if we're like a balance between it, and then like it will become 50-50. So like
Yeah.
your chakras and everything will like massively open and stuff, like that kind of thing, and then you'll be back into that utopian
Yeah,
aspect
it'd
of
be
things, like when trees were around, like the giant ones. I think everybody just knew each other. You could walk up to somebody and you just know them. You know what I mean? Because that energetic field kind of mix and all. I mean, it does now, but you know what I mean. It's not as strong as it could be in a sense. And I think it
yeah,
used to be stronger. And once it does go through its ascension process, then
yeah,
that's what it do. So they're trying to put the fear aspect of things into it, because if everyone's afraid, it kind of affects the energetic flow of it and stuff like.
Well,
Um,
I think that the God of this world, as you call it, he likes fear better than anything else, and it seems like all his programming has some kind of fear-based, like shock to it, trying to keep you away from actually discovering things. So,
yeah, well, look,
yeah.
fear causes illness, doesn't it? You know what I mean?
Oh yeah,
Fear, stress, all these things, and it's all manufactured like today's society and stuff. How they want to run things and stuff, but they do it on purpose.
true.
So then, you're back on pharmaceutical subject then as well. So, you know what I mean? Which again, it's no good.
It's weird. Yeah. So Ryan, you're gonna do Hellboy tonight. What happened? Where's the Hellboy at?
Well, I was going to switch the computer, but it won't keep a signal either, so it seems like pointless to mess with it.
Oh God. Oh well. Do Hellboy next time. The mechanical soldier in Hellboy, the Nazi assassin. You remember that guy? I'm trying to remember the name of the doctor that was supposed to be. That was a good story. Is it good? But you couldn't. He was. Who made Hellboy? Anyways, I can't remember. It was a comic to start with, right?
Yeah.
The
I've
character.
seen movie once, but I went well at times, so I didn't like take it in. So I don't know.
You ever? There was another one that's along the same lines that Sean Connery was in. It. They go back to like Captain Nemo, and it's like the League of Extraordinary Gentlemen. It was a really cool film back in the day. Hey Shannon, how you doing? Is anybody else coming on anytime soon? I don't want to spend too much time on the polls. I think
I'm
I've
switching
covered.
to my computer now.
Oh, cool. Do you get signal? He's going to go whether he has it or not. Dum, dum, dum. I want to see if anybody else is running shows. I don't think anybody else is. Yeah, so the manufacturer realm that we're in now, the fallen world, you could probably call it that. Since I think it's more like a fell world because they felled the giants, the trees.
Yeah.
And our armies took over after that part. Oh, there he is. Hellboy, how are you doing tonight? He's not quite there yet. Well, open that pack of cookies, why don't you? We know what you're doing. I'm going to stick my GoFundMe in the chat because I'm going to push to try to get this done. I've only up to $50 so far, and I appreciate that. But it's the way it's going. It's nobody has. I've done it a couple of times, and like people are so caught up in what's going on, they don't know that I'm going to try to do this next year. You come hell or high water, I'm going to do it.
Yeah, I'm going to do it this year. Early January.
And if you want to hand it out, just tell them, hey, this is going to be different than what the mainstream is going to do. And I'm pretty sure we have enough network in our community here that we can actually get this done. If you want to do it, it's going to be a good thing, I hope. But it seems like there's, like Ryan was saying earlier, he was telling me there's a whole bunch of people in the chats that have heard about me wanting to go, and they're saying that there's no way it's going to happen. There's no way you're going to do it. Yeah.
Did I say that?
Yeah, you did. You were telling me that earlier. That, like, there are people that were saying that Roger's going to go to the Antarctic and do a
Yes,
live stream.
I did hear a couple of critical comments, not
Yeah,
from
that's
anybody that we're worried about, but I'm just saying, like, I did hear some critical comments about how, blah, 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 blah. But, I mean, I was just telling you what they said. I wasn't trying to, like,
No, I did. No, you're not talking me out.
The only reason why I'm concerned about you going is because I'm concerned for your life. That's what I'm concerned.
I get you. Yeah. Well,
I
Flash
mean,
was saying earlier,
say
if
that
I
I'm
could get.
overreacting, but if something bad happens to you in the process next year, then I'm not going to feel great about it, bro.
Oh, no, dude, that would be on me. Hey,
Yeah, and by the way, Dave has something to say. Go ahead, Dave.
He has a way of pushing people when they go on trips. If he says something bad may happen, believe it.
Yep, you might want to believe.
Well, I'm glad I got faith in Ryan's predictions.
Yeah,
Thanks, Dave.
okay. You want to hear the story? So, a couple years back, he came over one day and he was like, "I need to borrow $40 so I can go to Oregon." I'm like, "What?
Okay.
Why are you going to go to Oregon? Why? How would you only need $40?" He goes, "Well, that's all the gas money it'll cost me. I'm just going to go right up there and pick up somebody and come right back." I'm like, "Well, who are you going to pick up?" And he goes, "A girl." And I said, "So you're wanting to borrow the $40 so you can go get a girl?" Okay. And so then I kept asking him questions, and I was like, I didn't really want to loan him the money because I thought it was dumb. I was like, well, if you only have $40 to go, what happens if something happens? What if you get a flat or anything might happen? And you don't have any money on you, and you're broke. You're going to be stuck, right? I said, he goes, no, it ain't going to happen. He goes, I go up there all the time, and it ain't going to be a problem. So finally, after I told him, well, what if this happens? What if that happens, right? I gave him all the different things that could happen. I said, well, and I said, I think it's a bad idea. Of all the things, I said, what if a deer jumps out in front of you, and it's not even your fault, bro? And then it causes an accident, and then you end up stuck somewhere in the middle of nowhere, all because you wanted to go see some girl and get laid. And he's like, you just don't understand, bro. I just want to do this, right? So finally I give him the $40. What happens? He goes all the way up there, no problems. He picks up the girl, he gets halfway home, and a fucking deer jumps out in front of his car. Yep. Exactly what I told him. I warned him. He never even seen a deer, but I told him, I said, I didn't say that was going to happen. I just said, what if this happened? And I was right. It could happen, and it did. And so what happens? He ended up totaling his car almost. He ended up having to get his dad to come up with a trailer and drag his car home, even though it still ran. And then after he fixed it, then he didn't listen to me about bolting the hood down, right? And I told him, I said, you know what's going to happen if you get on the freeway, bro? That thing's going to flop up and it's going to cause more damage to the car than you've already got on it. What happens? He goes down the road, he gets on the freeway, and he folds the fucking hood back, bro.
Yeah,
he was in a hurry to get to work. So,
yeah.
Like this happens all the time where I give him advice and he don't listen and bad happens.
That's because you two are like connected at the hip. You know when there's bad energy involved in it. And
I don't know what it is, bro. I don't know whether it's because I don't know. I just think I know how to guess things and I think about things. I think about things so detailed that I just think what could happen. I guess I don't know. And I manifest all the evil. That's what he said. He thinks that I made it happen. Whatever.
Okay.
I made the deer jump out in front of you, Dave. Okay.
Dude, I got my boating balls and I'll say a little prayer.
Roger says he's got his Benoit balls and he's gonna say
Benoit balls are boating balls.
Whatever they are. Looney balls.
Change his fucking bewitched blade.
I ain't bewitched, man. I'm psychic. I try to tell you that.
Psychic, bewitched, whatever you want to call it.
And I still don't believe that's true. I don't know anyone else to explain it except
especially with the moon's elevation.
Goddamn. I didn't want to do that. Sorry. Got to pause this. All right. Go ahead. What were you saying again? I want to go through this little.
Just going off. Dave's going off in the background about all the times I told him something had happened to him.
Stop listening to Ryan, Dave. Just stop
listening to Ryan.
I don't tell him somewhere. When I want to
Yeah,
go somewhere, I
yeah.
just go.
That's now when he comes over, he just has this funny look, and I'll be like, "What's wrong?" He'll be like, "Nothing," because he knows I'll give him advice.
Oh, Jesus. I'll be right back, guys.
He claims that I don't give advice. I just curse him, and then it just happens no matter what.
The bad things happen, and it happens. How is that not a curse?
Just because I can see it doesn't mean I'm making it happen.
Boys.
I believe.
Yeah, he's saying, well, anytime I say something to him now, he listens at least. Doesn't always listen fully, but he tries to avoid situations.
Brian, you're like E.F. Hutton.
Like I said, I don't know if it's psychic ability or whether it's just me just intelligent. I don't know. I don't know what it is. It seems to be right. It seems to be right a lot. I'm a warlock. Okay. How did I become a warlock without actually wanting to be?
Maybe your mom was a witch.
Maybe it was that brief experience with the demon I had that time when I was a kid.
You're born into it. He's like
I was born into it. Roger says I'm born into it. Did we scare everybody else away or what?
No. I'm doing something right this right second. I'll be
No, I meant like I don't see. Oh, you don't have
28 people in the chat, dude.
I know. I'm talking about in here with us. I don't see them.
No, Lev's here.
I know, but I can't see him because he's putting on his video.
Can't help you there.
Yeah, I know. Well, you can. You can make it to where our little bubbles are going to the side, but you.
I could. Give me a second. I'll be there. Hold on. I just had to get my left of my dinner.
Train you, man. You're like Polish or something.
Yeah. Who's Polish?
I said, are you Polish? Gotta keep retraining you.
Who's a warlock?
Dave says I'm a warlock, and I said, well, how can I be a warlock if I never practiced or asked to be a warlock? He says, I don't know.
How do you practice it being a warlock?
My grandma. My grandma's psychic, bro. She really is. She predicted my uncle's death. She dreamed about him dying the day he died. It was weird, bro.
A regular Edgar Casey, right? Is that who she is?
I don't know what that means.
You know who Edgar Casey is?
Who's Edgar Casey?
Oh, he's the guy that came up with the ESP phenomenon.
Oh, well, I'm not sure that's what it is, but I think it's just, if you think about things and you roll them over in your head and you way overthink everything, then you're just going to see the future. It just happens. I just think about, I always think about what could happen in a situation where there's nothing wrong, right? You got a brand new car, brand new gas in it, brand new, good person that knows how to drive. What are the odds that something bad could happen? Well, it's pretty good because there's lots of people out there that don't know how to drive, that aren't driving a safe vehicle, that could crash into you and cause you a whole bunch of damage, even though your car works just fine. That's my point.
Well, hold on a minute. Four Jacks figured it out.
Oh no, here we go.
Your cookies plus weed equals warlock.
No, it'd be cookie lock, I think. But okay.
A cookie lock.
That'd be
what the hell's a cookie lock?
I don't know. I'm just making shit up. I don't know.
We'll put the rubber stamp of approval.
Even if you have everything covered, you've got insurance, your driver's license doesn't have any points on it, you could go out there and somebody could hit you and you could end up with a mark on your license. It just happens.
No.
It does. It happens where you get blamed for something that's not your fault. That's why I told him you don't have any money to get home or to protect yourself. You only have the gas money I'm giving you. It's a bad idea to go up there. That's all I was trying to tell him. But you
I got you. That's just common sense. Where you're going with.
Thinking with this dick. I tried to tell him his dick wasn't worth it, but he didn't want to listen.
His dick is worth everything to him, dude. I promise.
Yeah, but now he's short a car. See, that's the problem. His dick was more important than the car. Now he's not going to a car.
Well, dicks are usually more important to the cars. Yeah.
He's got another car, but he can't drive it either because it's fired. Poor guy. He's having a hell of a life. He's having a hell of a trip this week.
$40 and a girl will get you in trouble, right? Especially in Oregon.
Oh, and he quit smoking cigarettes a few days ago.
Oh, no.
So he's really going through it. Grumpy.
No wonder he's hollering so much.
I told him to get some nicotine for a while to help curb it, but he said, nah, he don't want to do it. He wants cold turkey, he said.
Cold turkey, huh? He won't even vape or anything.
It really makes you see who the fuck you really are.
Does it? Yeah, I guess. Well, yeah, that's definitely going to be a challenge to your psyche, but I mean, if your psyche can't handle it, you could be in deep shit, bro. The first time I tried to quit smoking, I gained like 30 pounds in like 2 weeks, bro. I was like, Jesus Christ. I know, look at you.
Let's look at this 24-hour moon in Antarctica. You ready?
Boy,
this was done. Yeah.
I can't wait. This is going to be classic, I'm sure.
It doesn't look like it make a full circuit in the video. I watched it earlier on Flats. Sob stuck this in the back chat, and I looked at it like, that doesn't look like it goes fully around, dude. I haven't looked at the rest of it since.
I just want to see
a lot of the hit pieces like on Dave Weiss and a whole bunch of other people before. I'm not going to go through all that crap, and I don't want to hear him talk, to be honest. So I'm going to mute his ass. And hey, Duffy, I right down the street, bud. You can come say hi to me, and you can apologize for lying to my ass. There you
Is it just me? Pause it for a second.
go. Okay.
Is it just me, or can you see the terror in his eyes? He looks fucking scared. He does.
Yeah,
he looks
he's in
like
the big.
he's,
He's in the
he
big
looks like
leagues
he hasn't
now.
slept in a week, and he's pissed off. And I know why he's pissed off, because his little trick didn't work.
Yeah.
Ha ha ha, sucker.
Ball
Dumbass.
trips. Yeah,
What you
all right,
get,
here we go.
believing you could just screw all these smart people over? Nah, it doesn't work.
Well, it's not just smart people, just average people that can look at
No,
something and go,
we're
"That's
smart
not real."
people, bro. If we weren't smart, we wouldn't be questioning the fucking reality, right?
Yeah,
People
I guess
people
you
that
could
just
say.
believe what the TV tells them aren't intelligent, bro. They're just following along. That's what they're
Mhm.
trained to do. It's their brainwashing. They created workers, not people, not humans, not thinkers, but workers.
Mhm.
That's what we
Well,
are.
I'm an explorer. That's why I'm all trying to do this explorer. I want to go look for myself, But I thought I could help out with this whole thing and put it to bed forever. Like if I actually go down and film this, why would somebody want to go and live stream it? Why would anybody else have to do it for real instead of all the shady shit that they're doing with this crap? If I just go down and straight up do it, take some.
Biased. Well, I mean, I guess it
On
would
your
be
own,
biased
Andrew.
flat earthers, but still, I mean,
Yeah, and the other part is like me and Flats were talking today. Like if I could get further close to the 90th parallel, I could actually get close to what might be a dome and actually see what I could do to measure like anything that would constitute any kind of structure, any kind that far.
believe it or not, Roger, there are pictures of the dome and there are pictures of the brackets that hold it up. You just got to look
Yeah.
online.
Yeah, well, that's not going to convince everybody. If I'm doing like a live stream and take a video of it,
I get that, but
I could put it in our archives and like, oh look, we actually have some evidence for all the stuff you say we.
Why wouldn't I? Don't if someone shows you, I mean, I get it. You can think, okay, this video is fake, but if someone shows you something that I mean, I just don't understand how you can't at least go, wow, what the hell? Where'd you get that? Like, I'm going to automatically assume that there's some truth to it. I'm not automatically going to think it's. Shut up. It's not all the time. Shut up, dickhead.
Well, he knows you better than I do.
He thinks he knows.
You don't believe me?
Well, okay, I'm skeptical, yes, but I'm skeptical for a fucking reason, because how many times have I been duped, Dave, by how many different people telling me bullshit they know isn't true, but then trying to fool me full of it? Yeah.
Okay, gentlemen, I'm gonna play this. It's not that long. It goes pretty quick, so take a look at it. No sound. Here he goes. It started there, right behind that green building, is where the stream started. This is supposedly 24 hours. Now, do you see any parallax here at all? And that light's hitting the top of that building for whatever we're looking at. A lot of glare from that light. Why
Wow.
they got that there, I don't know.
Wow. Oh, look, there's some glare. Amazing.
Yeah.
Wow. That is the shittiest, most fake looking fucking moon I've ever seen, bro. Honestly.
Yeah, and
It
look at
flickered
arc.
once. It flickered, but you
okay,
do
we're
you do know that the moon does change shape and it changes size and it changes all kinds of things depending on the atmosphere.
Yeah, we haven't
You'd
made a
be able to see the
360 yet.
face of it,
Hold
wouldn't
on.
you?
Hold on.
Come on, man.
We're waiting for a 360. Hold on.
I know.
We got to make it all the way back around to that.
Oh,
other
whoa,
building.
whoa! It was going down, and then it suddenly just stopped and started going straight. That's fucking.
Okay, I think that's the building right there. And now watch, this thing's gonna
Wow.
stop real soon. Like that's gonna be enough.
Look, it goes
That's-
back
I
up
don't-
again.
That's not the same building. Hold on.
It's not.
No,
There it is. Okay, I see what you're
that's the same building. So we had a 360 pan of that.
But
So that's
did you
supposed-
guys notice something very interesting? It didn't continue to curve. It actually moved down to one spot, almost got to the horizon, and then just flat stopped, and then crept straight across the horizon, and then started going back up again. No way, dude. I know what Analema looks like. It doesn't do anything like that, bro. There's no way. Something's not right with it. That's all I'm saying.
So the high peak of noon is not what we looked at. There's something wrong with these things.
Where was
They
that?
got to call it. Yeah.
Where was it?
That it. Well, it would go down and up because
No,
it
no,
moves out.
where they're taking
Where
it from?
was it?
Yeah.
From Antarctica, from what I gather. It's Anthony Powell, the guy who did the watch video.
What's their latitude?
So
Is it 80? Is it below 80 or is
when did he do it?
So
When did he do it?
I have no idea, dude. I got no clue. It's nonsense to me, and I didn't see any earmarks or anything on it. I didn't see where they were. It's no details to this at all. It's just like there's no.
Is it supposed to be nighttime?
Yeah, it's the 24-hour moon we just looked at supposedly.
If that's some final experiment, then they just proved that the sun sets.
I think I'd like to show you guys
Yeah.
something in a minute.
Because it shouldn't be
They'd have to.
nighttime, should it?
Oh,
It's supposed to be
yeah.
daytime all the time. So when did
Lev's
they
got
film
a
it?
hell of
Sorry.
All right, say that again, Lev. To tell everybody in the audience right now. Go ahead. When did
If
they
that's-
film that? And
If that's in Antarctica and it's nighttime, then that debunks the 24-hour sun because you shouldn't have nighttime.
I agree.
You should be seeing moon in the day for 24
yeah.
hours.
Now, I thought
If-
you
if
guys
they
all
were
got that right off the bat. They said that the
I
sun
bet
was
you
there
didn't-
24 hours. It never went down. So how did he get fucking moon footage?
There's no special effect on it, I wrote, is there? You know
No,
what I
it's
mean?
not
Or is
fake.
it like-
No, he was able to see a 24-hour moon and a 24-hour sun in the same place. That's interesting, isn't it?
So where's sun?
That's
Yeah,
what I mean.
the
There's
sun
too
and
many
moon should be able
dumb
to do
people
that.
that don't want to accept the truth.
Is that really like supposed to be from when they went, just like from last week?
I don't know when the date was on it. That's what I'm saying. I don't have a timestamp.
So you're saying that in the same week, in the same 3 or 4 day period they were there, that they had
we
a
need
full day of
confirmation.
sun and a full day of night. Okay.
Where's
Yeah,
linked
that
up
had to be-
video?
That would have to be like the winter, wouldn't it? Think about it.
Look,
Not the
I
summer.
believe them, bro. They're definitely
Yeah.
telling the truth. Fuck you guys, man. You guys are nuts if you're even defending this at all, bro.
Yeah.
It's so,
If they release it,
so
if that's
obviously.
what they're really going to release, it's going to let
I'm
us
gonna
know.
look. I'm gonna look at the description of the video, see what it actually really breaks out for us. Let's see. 24-hour
It's like we're
moon.
just giving it to us.
Yep. 24-hour moon in
What's
Antarctica.
funny is that he put this out thinking
3
that
days
we were
ago.
not going to notice that he took a 24-hour nighttime shot during the time he was there to do the 24-hour sun, right?
Yeah, it says the 24-hour moon in Antarctica. That's what it says. Really, it
You
does
might have
right
been
here.
at the other side of the mountain.
It's so
Yeah.
fucking stupid, bro. I can't help but to call it retarded, bro. It's just dumb. Like, what the hell? Like, how? I don't understand. How did that happen? Did he wait 6 months and go back, or what? What's going on here, bro?
Well, you've seen
Like
the
you
moon
said,
in
the
it.
sun never went down the whole time you guys were there. That's what you said like 16 different times. The sun
Yeah.
never went down. You don't understand. Then where the
Yeah,
fuck
but-
did you get these moon photos from, dude?
I have a recording of Jonathan, the producer, that said
No more
he saw
respect.
a sunset.
Come on.
He actually, while he was down there was a sunset while he was there. It's in that audio clip that I got from Truth Roll. She gave me the one that supposedly mentioned Disney. But Jonathan, the producer himself, said he went and saw a sunset down on the other side of the glacier. I'm like, okay. He literally says it out loud. So what they're doing,
think
I don't know.
This is probably not the only evidence, but after seeing this on top of all the other stuff that still doesn't make any sense, I'm just going to go right on out there. I'm going to say it right out in the open, right to your faces. You're fucking liars. You're nothing but liars, and you deserve nothing but what you get.
There you go.
Sorry.
You got a link to that video.
Hi, dumbasses. Thanks for believing in bullshit and trying to teach the world about it. Good job.
Lev's asking a question. What did you ask?
Link
You
to
want the
that
video? You
Yeah.
want a link to it? Okay, I got it.
Is it on, what's it called? That guy.
It's on TFE. It's Duffy's crap. I'll put the link in the back chat. I'll put it in the front chat too.
Yeah, front chat. I don't use phone chat.
Okay.
Maybe I know what happened. I know I can explain it all. They definitely went. See, this is what happened. Okay. See, the North Pole flipped while they were down there.
Oh.
And so they got all 24-hour sun, and then they got a 24-hour nighttime too. That must be what it is. I get it now. You're right. There is global warming.
Yeah. Everything they've been telling you is true all this time. They haven't been lying to you about jack shit.
Why would they lie? Why would they, whoever they are, lie?
Uh-huh.
I don't know. Why wouldn't they? If you could tell the whole world a lie and get over on everybody and make money at it and get rich at it and get popular and get powerful out of it, wouldn't you do it too? I think you would.
I'm just thinking there had to be 24 hours a night somewhere during this time frame, like when it sunset that Jonathan saw. So
how does that
after
work?
that, then the moon worked for 24 hours. But you've seen the moon in the daytime; it's been out the whole time.
Maybe they could
during
just
the
flip. Maybe there's a switch up there and they could just flip it and change day to night. I don't know.
They know God, dude. I don't know. You tell me.
It's like I said. They met somebody that worked there and they got the footage from them and they just made it into this little video. That's what they did. It makes more logical sense than any other argument that's come up so far.
Anthony Powell.
Now, why they did that, I don't know.
I think he works at St. John's or Murdoch, one of the two. He works in one of the facilities.
Yeah, why not? Or maybe he just works for that company and he just has access. And they said, "Oh yeah, we'll fly you in there." That's why they got the extra plane and all that. Is that might actually validate it. But that doesn't mean they actually took a 24-hour sun video and a 24-hour moon video in the same fucking 3-day period. It just doesn't happen, or the same 5-day or whatever it was.
Yeah.
That is impossible. I don't care who you are or how dumb you are. There's no way you can believe that you could have both at the South Pole at the same time. It's just dumb. It's the most ridiculous argument in the world. And anybody who argues with that, I'm just going to tell you, you're dumb, and I don't have time for you anymore.
So Anthony's footage is from last winter, probably, is what it is.
I don't care how they got the footage. I don't believe anything they're saying. I've seen enough.
He was using Anthony Powell's midnight footage from the last one that had the East and the West end with the watch in it. So that was doctored as hell.
And of course, Austin Whitsitt, he would never vape. No,
He's vaping. He's probably vaping right now, dude. I got a vape right here.
Remember, he quit. He quit though. Remember?
I guess so.
And how I want to know is if he did just find the thing in there. I'm not saying the battery would be dead because I've got one that's been in a jar for a couple of years and it still has a little bit of battery left. But you would think that he wouldn't have had a charger, right? But then you see him doing it later on, still puffing on it afterwards. It just doesn't make sense. It's like, so you're saying that you brought the charger too, but no one noticed it, even though they don't allow it? It's like, nah.
Okay,
Maybe you could have smuggled it on there, but I don't know.
I'm going to see if there's more in the description about this, the footage itself. I don't think it's going to be listed in here. But I'm pretty sure that's probably from last winter.
I'd have to watch it to find out.
Yeah, take a good look. I'm going to go over it with a fine-tooth comb.
If he claims it to be, you know what I mean? That's the issue with it and stuff like that.
Yeah, I get it. They're not going to make claims they can. I'm not wasting my time. I just want to know when they took the footage for the 24-hour moon. And Anthony Powell's stationed down there somewhere, so I've seen 2 different places where he's been stationed at.
They said they were going down to film it.
Yeah.
Not to get one from 6 months ago.
Yeah, I've seen all the footage. I'm at Anthony Powell's site right now.
You know what I'm really surprised, though, is that when he actually said that he was going to try to get a 24-hour moon, why anybody didn't argue with him? Well, how would you do that if it's 24 hours of daylight, you dumbass?
Yeah,
I'm actually baffled that I didn't even think of that detail. It went right past me too, but it's just amazing how well you can lie to people and they don't even realize it until they're like, wait a minute, hold on. Mm-hmm. You know, it's like suddenly it dawns on you that this doesn't look right. And then you realize why. It's like, wait a minute, if it was 24 hours of sunlight, how the hell did they get nighttime at all?
Yeah, I've seen all his 24-hour footage too, and they're all suspects.
So, do we get like a 24-hour moon in North as well?
I don't know.
My question is, did they completely forget that those two things can't go together when they were saying they were going to go down there?
I don't know, but he said he could get it. That's what I heard originally from his original statement.
Yeah, get it? Yeah. He can get anything he wants because he has a studio that'll just print whatever he wants, right?
Like the sun and the moon, like if it were 93 million miles away and that's just 250,000 miles away, with the tilt of the Earth between winter and summer, then the parallax between them two would prove either way, you know what I mean? And I don't think we're getting any parallax at all. Well, we're not, are we?
We're
Who
not.
would
No.
who would have used that spook
I've
and stuff
I've never
like
seen parallax with the moon and the stars ever, man. It's just it's non-existent, or even the sun for that matter.
No,
But
because
it is
they're the same
it,
position in the sky, the same distance away almost. It seems like that way anyway.
yeah.
that. Like the
Why would
moon's
it?
like
Not that we
it's
could
got an
confirm it,
orbit.
but I mean, I would suggest that maybe the lights in the sky are actually inside the dome itself.
Yeah. Well, how high does your rocket fly, dude? That's what I want to know.
Or maybe they're attached to the dome somehow. Maybe the dome itself moves. I don't know. I mean, anything's possible, right?
Yep. Anthony Powell's stationed at Scott Base. That's where he's at year round. So he gets to experience both seasons. So that's where he gets this footage from. That's nothing new. It's not
So they lied.
groundbreaking at all.
They faked it. Then they lied. Then they lied again. Then they threatened to sue us. And now they're still calling us shills and liars. And then they're all flipping their switch to now all of a sudden it's a ball, right? Even though the evidence they brought back doesn't even match up with that, right? So explain that to me, how that's not a psyop, guys. Come on, tell me. How is that not a psyop? It's absolutely one, because it doesn't fit.
According to what Shannon's saying here, let's check it out. She goes, Grok says in summer months, in November and February, the Antarctic has 24 hours of daylight. That's daylight. So they see the moon because it's always daytime.
Right. But how did he get?
No, you wouldn't
It was
see
a-
you wouldn't see the moon because it's always daytime.
Yeah,
So
you
they
would
wouldn't-
see it, but it would be in the day sky, right? But we never saw the moon in the sky at all in any of those videos, did we?
No, we didn't.
So that right there is another reason why it's fake. You see what I'm saying? Every time we get deeper, we realize how many more things that they forgot to fucking put in there, which means they faked it, bro. It's a fake. How can you see it any other way? How can anybody argue at this point that it's real? It's not. They faked it. They faked every last bit of it. It's a
Well, I
phony.
think a lot of what they're doing is they're piecemealing a lot of footage over time, like years, to make.
It doesn't
what they're
matter
talking
what
about
they're
work.
doing. They faked it. It's not what they presented it as. They lied about it. And I don't even know if they went to fucking there. I don't believe it.
Well,
The fact that they won't show us the ticket stub at least or something to verify, I just don't believe why they wouldn't do that. Why wouldn't you just throw it out there? It's just so easy to fucking prove.
the one
And then,
thing Dave's,
and then I could believe at least that you did go there. But now I don't believe nothing you're saying. Because you're just full of it. You're contradicting every other thing you say. And you don't even realize it because you're such a dumb liar, you don't even think about it.
gentlemen, I think we've come
Another
to a
aspect is-
conclusion that. But
So they went down there. Everything's legit, apart from how they present it to us. So then they intentionally gaslight us to discredit us, basically.
and there's a missing day in their trip. We're trying to figure out where they went or what they did.
Yes. Gee, I wonder if they didn't go to Antarctica, then what difference does it make? They faked the
I
video.
think
So why would we even want to believe they actually went there?
Yeah, but why,
I
I'm
don't
not
see
going to
why
try
I
to
waste my time on
discredit them on that. I'm not trying to discredit their trip and all that. I'm just we're questioning the validity of their findings.
I think we can see that their findings don't match up with reality at all. So either they faked it or they're just retarded and I don't know how do you not see that they faked it, dude? They're showing us a 24-hour sun and a 24-hour moon in the same 5-day period. That's not possible, dude. I'm sorry. It's not possible.
Is that really what he's done?
I don't know.
I want to. I want to listen to what
That's
he
how
says
they're
now.
selling it. Is that not
Should
how
we
they're
listen to
selling
it?
it?
Hold on.
Should we listen to what he says? Do you wanna-
Yeah, go ahead.
Let's listen. Let's hear them speak about what they actually have and don't.
Okay. Well, I'm going to share
Yeah,
it. So
Didn't share it.
put it up on it. We'll listen to what
It's
Duffy
gonna
got. I don't
make
want
any
to.
difference at this point, but okay, let's do it.
All right. Back on screen again with the dumbass. Let's go to the part where he's actually put the moon up again. We'll talk about his Scott's footage here.
No,
Let's
no,
just
no.
hear what he
like
has to say on
the
that
lead
part.
up to it.
I want to hear.
Is he,
I want to hear him lie.
is he going to introduce it as what they've done over the past week?
I'm
That's
going
a
into the
couple
part where he would intro into this. So
Yeah.
here we go. Come on, Duffy. I still got on mute.
who is best known for his award-winning documentary Antarctica: A Year on Ice, has captured multiple time
Right. That's why
lapses
he's
of the
trustworthy.
24-hour
Anthony Powell, is he one
sun
at?
in
Will
Antarctica.
he won a team?
And I am extremely
Say what?
Will he one of
Where
the
am I
team
at?
that went down with them? Anthony
No,
Powell.
he's
will he-
Anthony Powell's down there at all times. He's stationed at Scott Base.
He's part
he was-
of the whole thing.
He wasn't with the team. He's in Scott Base, so it's a different place.
Duffy had braces too, I can tell.
He could have filmed at any point then.
Yeah, that's why he's breaking. He's won awards for his award-winning documentaries on the Midnight Sun and Antarctica.
Right.
He's breaking into.
Which is all
extremely excited to release to the public for the very first time Anthony Powell's time lapse of the 24-hour moon in Antarctica,
Anthony Powell.
which he captured during the Antarctic winter at Scott Base.
Yeah, he claims it's very winter, so in fact, this weekend, or last weekend.
Now, do you see anything wrong with this picture? Think about what the moon does around the equator, right? Well, it's not. I don't know if it rotates exactly where the equator is or how it declinates from it, but
It's
in a
always above the
circular.
horizon in that kind of sense, so it's like saying it's like below the ball.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If you're like upside down, and then it's like,
But
how
how
does
do
it
you-
maintain its being below the ball? Doesn't make sense.
How
Same
can,
for
how
sun.
can you see it from the northern or the equator from here? The moon's absent. No. Wow.
The thing that makes it irrelevant to me.
If a flat earther tells you that a time lapse is not a video and therefore doesn't count as evidence of the 24-hour moon, remind them that a video is a series of pictures, as is a time lapse.
Wow. Did we get it? And you can't manipulate those things at all, neither can you guys. Anyways.
And remember that they are only using that excuse because they cannot reconcile a 24-hour moon in Antarctica with a flat Earth.
We can't? Guys, can we reconcile it?
Yeah.
I think we
Yeah,
can.
absolutely.
If it's in a magnetic circuit and it's going around
cares?
that particular part above it, you would definitely consider that a 24-hour. We can't reconcile it, though.
It's like you are the sun and the moon. You know what I mean? You are all the stars in that kind of sense and stuff like all that is part of you. So it's like that's how we experience it as well. You know what I mean? It's kind of like a it's consciousness. You know what I mean? It's the moon's another aspect of it in a way.
All right, who's
So
scraping your floor over there?
That's me.
What's on there? Quit it. Your team.
I'm done.
Knock it off.
That was a delicious floor, dude. Telling you.
Well, whatever it was.
Yeah.
It's me, buddy.
And
So
then
the
the short
24-hour.
series,
Yeah.
so it
So
will
there's what? Go ahead.
it's about the consciousness of the realm in that kind of sense, and it's like the land is like the physical representation which has been created from the spiritual realm and all these kind of things. So the land reflects that of the spiritual realm in ways. You know what I mean? It's kind of like where I move on the land is it represents the external, like the spiritual realm in a sense. So as I go to south, I'm going to closer to southern, what's it called? pole if there is one, you know what I mean, and stuff
Yeah.
like. If not, it's just the extremity, and it's like if you go from one extremity to another, right? That's how it's related. So like how you're kind of connecting to the sun and moon at the same time, it's part of like I say, it's part of you. It's like your aura when you're like, you know, you're looking out, and that's like part of your aura. So when you move, it kind of moves with you.
I got you. Excuse me. Sorry. Got a little bit of ick.
You got like chakra points on Earth and all that kind of stuff.
True.
So like to like relate with it, and those chakra points like relate to the wandering stars and stuff like. So you know that does directly relate in that kind of sense.
Sorry about that. Yeah, I had to get that out.
What happened?
All right. Nothing. I had to get some phlegm out. The cold's finally leaving me. In their model, right? It supposedly the tilt is actually the cause of the 24-hour light in the south, right? Correct? We're tilting towards the sun and the moon. That's why you get them 24 hours. But did the moon change its orbit during the?
No, that's what I think. That's what don't make sense to me in that kind of way. It's like the moon shouldn't be doing it, so that's why there should be a parallax. You know what I mean? They should be able to observe that and show us. You know what I mean? But
Well, I want to.
we've got no visible.
Yeah, I want to see that. I want to.
We've got no physical evidence.
Yeah, I want to see their. I want to see their.
Like I say about.
I want to see their circuit, the circuit of the moon, in their model. I want to see how you get a midnight moon in Antarctica.
Like, they teach us to look at it in a left brain sense. So they describe space, planets, and all these kind of things and stuff like space rockets and so on. I mean, it's a spiritual experience. It's the space area, but we've got, you know what I mean, like the stars and all these kind of things. So, yeah, like I said, it doesn't matter where you stand on Earth. You can have it as a perspective thing. You know what I mean? So if I go to that end of Earth and sun's in north in that kind of sense and stuff like, then you've got the opposite. You know what I mean, and stuff like.
I'm with you. I want to know what day that they actually have the 24-hour moon in Antarctica. I mean, I didn't see any descriptions in any of the citations I've looked at. This is like some kind of new discovery that they've had. The same with the 24-hour sun. It's a new description. I'm not going to go to wherever Anthony was at. Let's see. Scott Space. I'm not going to go there and film it necessarily, but I want to know where the moon was in its cycle when that 24-hour moon footage was actually taken. And the only way to do it is compare it to it. You know, like where was the moon in you somewhere anywhere on the equator? What was the moon in its path then? How long did you see it in the sky? You got to be able to compare these things to that circuit. You see what I'm saying? I want to take each layer as this goes. The best way to break this down is find out what it's doing across the board. Anyways, I can't give you an answer to that. I'd have to look at Anthony's time, date, and everything else, where the moon was in its path. I'm not discrediting the Lev. It may be a left brain function, and it's the way you see it. But it's visible in the sky at that time, obviously, whenever he took that footage. So there's obviously a point in time when you can actually see it there. So I have to be able to compare it to where the moon is in its path everywhere else on Earth at the time. We can pinpoint its location and see how we can see it from every point. Follow?
Yeah, like I say, it's like part of your aura. So if you move down there, you're going to be able to see it in that kind of sense. Perspectively, you know what I mean? It's still got an aspect of like, you can be areas where you can't see the moon, for example, you know what I mean? Because it's on its path that way or whatever and stuff like that. But that's its cycle. You know what I mean? Because it's like I said, it's not that left brain way of thinking.
I'm not looking for any kind of brain way of thinking. I just want to see how he got that effect and what time, where it was at, and what it was doing. It's just simple. I don't want to take an angle perspective to it. That way I can explain it pretty much. If that's what everybody really wants is an explanation for this stuff. That's what everybody's looking for. They want you to figure out how, why, when, and where. And the way Adolf there put it, if any flat earther tells you time lapse can be faked or it's not a video, remember, it is a video. Okay. I'm glad he put that in there at the end of it. Let's see I want to see what else he's got to say. I'm not going to play it for everybody. Now, what he's saying after that is that we've been shown to be completely wrong about the 24-hour sun in Antarctica somehow or another. And now we're going to be shown how we're wrong about the 24-hour moon in Antarctica. Oh, God. That's about it. So he's on a mission. Yeah.
It still works.
We
for
can't
me.
have a
You know what I mean?
24-hour
It's not a
moon.
problem. Yeah, it still
Good.
works.
So now you're going to be labeled as crazy, Lev. Because everybody else knows there's a 24-hour moon in Antarctica. That's got to be maybe one day out of the whole year that it actually did.
It's quite a big leap for people to come to terms with. Do you know, like Globers and stuff like back when I was on Globe, if I were reading my research about what I'm saying about the sun and all that kind of stuff, I wouldn't be I'm not going to do the best job of explaining it actually, but like I said, it's in my content and stuff, that kind of thing. Like, so it's kind of there, but I mean, I've got more to do as well. You know what I mean? I'm hoping to finish the series soonish.
Good.
I've got like 3 videos queued up, and I've still got some more to add to it after that as well. So I don't know how many episodes it's going to be yet, but
I know the moon's actually a real thing. I've seen it. So, but I'm pretty sure the math to the distances to it are way off. You wouldn't be able to even. You would never be able to see it, let alone the rest. There's so many other holes in the globe model. That's just a model, though. I'm gonna get rid of that.
Globe's kind of, there's too many problems with it already. You know what I mean, and stuff like movement for one thing. You know what I mean? It's ridiculous when speeds, the momentum changes and everything. It'd be drastic. You know what I mean? It'd be unsurvivable. You know what I mean, and stuff like the drag of air behind the planet. Because, like, you know, if a comet can leave a drag of air, then we would be at the speed we're going.
Well, just the laws of motion don't work. That's why they threw Newton's laws out when they get into the cosmos. They don't work on that level, and even on their sphere Earth, the laws of motion don't work with gravity the way they say it does. They have to insubscribe a lot of things and make it work. It's like it's a piecemeal kind of thing, but what you actually experience in reality is something different. That's what I'm looking at.
Space is different to where we are anyway. It's got like that is the spirit realm in a sense. You know what I mean? The yin yang is both. It's got the yin and the yang, and there's the spot of the yin yang in like the white in the black. You know what I mean? So you can't have black without white or stuff like that. So, right, if the moon is a rock in the sky, then it's kind of all right, because it's like it kind of shows that in that yin yang representation of realm anyway. You know what I mean? It's like down here.
That's physically possible, although it does. There is something in the sky, you know, and how does it remain there? Yeah.
Well, that is a different kind of physics, I believe. You know what I mean? And maybe what we've postulated about Earth might be right about some of those places. You know what I mean? Like when you see like the swirling patterns and all of these kind of things and stuff like that. And I don't know. It's speculation in that kind of sense and stuff like that. And I know we're not in that kind of sense and stuff like. And like the research shows it. There's a lot of confirmation for like the flatness and stuff like that kind of thing. Like you get a lot of flat seeds. You know what I mean and stuff like that. But
Yeah, I do. Well, I'm going to end the show here, guys. I think 2 hours is long enough for tonight. I think there's probably other people got the shows going on out there. We're waiting for evidence for a lot of their claims. They still never have it provided. And we're not making claims. We're just taking observations and measurements. That's what we've been doing all this time. And we're getting a lot of pushback for it. Yeah. You have your own internal guide when it comes to your own realm, you might say. And I say, everybody listen to your own heart, your own head. Don't pay attention to all the distractions going on around you, because that's what they are. They're all straight up distractions. They're trying to take down your demeanor, all the joy that you got. I'm gonna put a song on and say good night.
All right,
Thanks for coming, everybody. All right.
Yeah, cheers, Roger. Later on,
right.
And I'll catch everybody else later as well. Nice one.
You're welcome. And thanks for coming, Liv.
No problem.
Say good night, Ryan. Good night, Ryan.
Somewhere far across the sea, far from where trouble could reach you or me. Somewhere, nowhere, tranquility will await us, you see. Somewhere shipwreck will be. We'll find an island and we will be free. Somewhere
Night, guys.
Green flash.
That was, I thought.
We're done now.
Yeah, we're done.